I am really honored to be here at this second annual Walk for Life in San Diego. Are you guys excited to be here? Are we making history here in San Diego by being out for life? Are we making history? I was here last year. I wasn't on the podium. I didn't speak, but I'm just so proud to have been here to be part of this movement that we're creating to be in favor of life from conception to natural death. All over the country, these kind of walks are happening, and so I'm really proud that we have this going on in San Diego. One more shout out for San Diego. All right. Okay, now they asked me to talk, even though our organization is not a traditional pro-life organization. Our organization is a pro-marriage organization. The motto of the Ruth Institute is one man, one woman for life. One man, one woman for life. What do you say? Is that about it? Did that pretty much cover it? Okay. All right. So, the reason I like to come to pro-life events is because I think that the life issue and the marriage issue are all one giant issue. And here's the thing that holds those issues together. The issue is, where do babies come from? Does anybody know where babies come from? Can we have a show of hands of people who think they know where the babies come from? Are you guys asleep back there or what? What's going on here? Okay, so one time, I was, just to give you a little background, I was doing a debate on a college campus and on gay marriage, that was the topic, and I happened to say in the course of the debate, sex makes babies. And the person I was debating said, no it doesn't. Oh, says I? What do you mean? And she says, unprotected sex makes babies. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. This is the thought process that we're dealing with. We're dealing, my friends, with an ideology, a pagan ideology that says that sex is a sterile activity with babies thrown in as an afterthought. That babies are a choice, not a gift from God. Right? We've got some signs back there from the Episcopal, Charismatic Episcopal Church. Their signs say, life is a gift, not a choice. Can you guys hold those up? Life is a gift, not a choice. Right on is what I want to say to that. Life is a gift, not a choice. Now, so our opponents, our ideological opponents, believe that everything's a choice. And this is what we're dealing with. Now, I want to explain to you how it is that contraception causes abortion. Contraception causes abortion, not like smoking causes cancer, but it's the social cause. And here's how it works. We have an ideology that says sex is a sterile activity. You can have as much sex as you want and you'll never get pregnant. If you do that, you're going to end up having sex with somebody that would be a disaster to get pregnant with. Am I right? Do you all know what I'm talking about? The kind of situation. And then what happens when your contraception fails you, which it inevitably will, what happens then? You got a pregnancy in a situation that's impossible or you perceive to be impossible, and what do? You have an abortion or you become a single mom. And that's how it is that the widespread promotion of contraception has led to both skyrocketing out of wedlock pregnancy and abortion. That's how it's linked. That's how all these issues are linked. It's because of the lie that sex and babies are unconnected. Sex and babies are connected. And if you're trying to build a society around the idea that they're not connected, you're doing something crazy. Right? You're doing something that can't be done. You're doing something that takes a lot of force to make it happen. And if you look, you will see that the government has been actively promoting contraception. It's not something that everybody just says, oh yeah, let's do this, man. They're promoting it in public schools. They're giving it away. They're half the time inducing people to get involved in it as a condition of their welfare participation. It's crazy. It's not free choice. So here's the point. This ideology, this contraceptive ideology, says that sex and babies are unconnected with each other, and they're all unconnected with marriage. So you can have sex without marriage, babies without marriage. It's all unconnected, disconnected. That's how all these issues link together. And the fact is, the only coherent alternative to this ideology is the ancient Christian teaching that marriage and babies and sex all belong together. That marriage is the right place for sex and the right place for babies. You got to admit that would solve a lot of problems if you only had sex with the person you were married to, right? Wouldn't that solve a lot of problems? Sure it would. So what we're doing at the Ruth Institute is we are reaching out to the victims of the sexual revolution. The revolutionary ideology that says sex and babies and marriage are all unconnected. People have been victimized by that. Not just the women who regret their abortions. You're going to hear from those people soon, right? You're going to hear about that. But in addition to that, think about the children of divorce. Do you know anybody who's an adult child of divorce and what they're going through? They are victims of the sexual revolution. Do you know anybody who is reluctantly divorced, who got divorced because they didn't want it, but their spouse did, and the government takes sides with the person who wants the marriage the least? Did you know that? You know anybody like that? And how about this group of people? The heartbroken career woman. Think about the heartbroken career woman, the woman who has it all. She's got a profession, she's accomplished, she may be wealthy, but she has no children. Or she may not be married, and she can't solve that problem for herself. She has been victimized by the contraceptive ideology. At the Ruth Institute, we're doing something about it. We're reaching out to those victims of the sexual revolution. We're going to be having a conference on their behalf. You can get that information at our table. And if you look up and down, all these vendors here, one way or the other, we are all trying to deal with the victims of the sexual revolution. We're all trying to help them in one way or the other. And that's what you're going to hear from the other speakers. That's what you're going to see at all these vendor tables. And I invite you to be involved with all of these people, or as many of these people as you can, because we're all in the trenches together to undo this deadly ideology that says that sex and babies have nothing to do with each other unless we happen to want it. That ideology is deadly because it says that a child is a problem to solve if you don't want one, and an object to purchase if you do want one. That's where our society is headed. And you can't have a free society on that basis. You can't have a society that's fit for decent people to live in on that basis. The only reasonable alternative is to say that every child is a gift from God. Amen. Unrepeatable gift from God. Thank you very much, everybody.